and carry on their own agenda. And honestly, I don't trust them.
She said that beautifully. There is actually the terminology is taqiyya. Taqiyya is that it is allowed to the Muslim to conceal the truth, whenever necessary, and that is not considered a lie. So they can lie in your face in order to go and make their point about the Islamic invasion. But you are absolutely right. That is why, if we trusted them, we didn't have this. We don't trust them. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I've been face to face with the Imam that's going to come in Temecula, and I asked you, what are you going to do with the Sharia law? He asked me, what is Sharia law? I said, I told him, don't ask me with another question. Don't answer me with another question. The question is this now. That's a fine and dandy to have all those paperwork, you know, that we had this. But this guy is going to sign, but he doesn't mean it, because they work with the dual system. Whatever they tell you is to achieve the conquer of America, because I'm reading the book there, it's about a week, and I'm telling you, we are only scratching the surface. I admire you people to come up and explain it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. In what you said, the fact of the matter is that there are many Muslim people in the world that are very nice people, extremely nice people. They are very moderate. But there is no moderation in Islam. So the pledge of the friendship that we are writing, we are asking him to create and implement and practice a moderate Islam. So there is no room for lying. Sir.
And there we go again with the moderate. The question is, I understand there is moderate, but the other people, they blackmail them, and they do it, they force them to do, because they are deadly serious to take over the United States.
You may be right.
On the gentleman's point, at the synagogue, when the Imam spoke, several of the people tried to ask questions about Sharia law, and were shut down with the aspect, we're not taking any political questions. I went, it does not amount to a significant portion of Islam, I thought.
Next question, sir.
Well, first I want to thank the speakers tonight for excellent presentation. I myself have read the entire Quran, and I think it's something we all should do to familiarize ourselves with what we are coming up against. One of the things that I often hear from Muslims is that Muslims and Christians and Jews all have the same God. I don't think that is supported by the very Quran itself. I'm sure you're familiar with Surah 109 of the Quran. Okay, I like to read it for the audience. Surah 109 says, "Say, O unbelievers, I do not serve that which you serve, nor do you serve him who I serve, nor am I going to serve that which you serve, nor are you going to serve him who I serve. You shall have your religion, and I shall have my religion." So I think we need to be aware when they say that we all have the same God, that they're not telling the truth.
I was invited by my friend Kevin in Simi Valley, and I was in a church, and I put the distinction between God and Allah. And I think that is a good distinction. In Christianity, Jesus Christ sacrificed himself for the benefit of the mankind. In Islam, Allah wants you to sacrifice yourself for him. So it's black and white. They are not the same. Thank you. Sir?
Thank you. I too would like to thank the panel for coming tonight. I'm a little out of place here, I get the feeling. There's a quote attributed to Voltaire, although many people now think he actually didn't say it, that one of his followers did. I may disagree with what you have to say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it, and I'm a firm believer in that. And I disagree with most of what was said this evening, but according to our Constitution, you have the right to say it. So I have no problem having this forum. I think it's a good thing to talk about. I feel a little outnumbered, but that's fine. I think there's a few dangers that we see here. While I was sitting as the paperwork was being passed out, and some of the speakers even mentioned this, and it kind of just went by and no one really seemed to notice, but the paperwork, I mean, page 3 seems to say that we don't have the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, press, or assembly. The top of page 3 says, First Amendment doesn't grant any rights to anybody. All it does is prohibit Congress. I think that's a little bit of a dangerous idea as well, because that would seem to go against the freedom of speech. I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a Christian, I'm an American citizen, so my right to speak right here and not be locked up seems to be questioned by that. You know, the thing about stop building mosques, stop pretending that Islam is a religion was in that paperwork, but several times during the presentation, Islam was called a religion, so some contradictions in the paperwork. My main question is, where does this stop? You know, 300 million Americans being invaded by, the highest estimate I've seen is 7 million Muslims. That's not even 3%. I know you can say, well, that's now, what about tomorrow? Fine, you can have that right. I'm gonna ask a question. My question is, where does it stop? When you have conquered Islam, and Islam is no more, what next? Do we go after Catholics? In the 20th century, the IRA was a terrorist organization. So that's my question. When you guys have conquered Islam, what's next?
I give you the answer, sir. I give you the answer, very simple. We did not start it. They came to New York City. They were the ones that they had the trouble. We never started. They were the ones that conquered Egypt. They were the ones that they came to Persia. They were the ones that destroyed Turkey. They were the ones that destroyed Lebanon. And they are the ones that are here. So we didn't start it.
Where does it stop? The greatest Christian country in the 7th century was Egypt. What is Egypt now? It is a pit of misery and poverty and ignorance and suffering. You are welcome to continue with your willful ignorance, sir. But that is willful ignorance. There's too much truth around. Look at England, look at France, look what's happening in Europe with the Muslims coming to there. Huh?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The fact, the truth is the same. We are not emotional. We are talking about the facts. Let that be seen. Let that be heard. Next question, madam.
Thank you for providing this forum. Thank you for giving your time and sharing your convictions, and I really admire your passion. My question is about the early history that was mentioned by the first speaker about how Muhammad used force and murder to establish his religion. And I was wondering if you could explain to me how that is different from the Spanish Inquisition, when the Catholic Church under Ferdinand and Isabella tortured and killed people who would not convert.
Great question.
That's a good question. Thank you for answering that. The answer is very easy. Islam